The SI Sports Network is on the air. The Bellarmine Bells come north to take on the Wildcats. It's WCAL football at J.B. Murphy Field on campus at St. Ignatius. The Bells, led by their longtime head coach Mike Janda, come in with a 2-7 overall record, 1-5 in the WCAL. Shockingly, the Bells have been shut out in their last 3 games. They've been shut out 4 out of 5 games, and they've been shut out 5 times total this year. The Cats are led by their head coach John Regalia. They come in also with a 2-7 record, 2-4 in the WCAL. Cats are coming off a really nice win last week, 35-0 over the Reardon Crusaders. Casey Murphy, class of 77. Students tonight are Ronan Kramer, Will Simons, Liam Baker, and Ryan Margulies will get a chance. Sean Lahan, class 87, is our producer, along with Jason Penarelli. So, Will, we'll start with you. I mentioned the shutouts. The Bells have just had trouble scoring this year.
Yeah, I mean, they're averaging 8.3 points per game this year. That's not going to win you a lot of football games against an SI offense that's scoring an average of 20.7 points per game. As you said, they've been shut out they haven't scored a point in their last 3 games, and in 4 of their last 5 games outside of a 35-14 loss to Midi. So, I mean, they're really going to have to turn it around and start putting points on the board because, you know, if they get shut out again, I can tell you for certain that they aren't going to win.
So I'll give you just some history here. I forgot to show you this before we came on the air, but look at the number of points that the Bellarmine Bells have scored against SI over the last 12 years. Now, SI beat the Bells last year, but the Bells scored 21 points. Bellarmine won 10 straight before that, scoring 37, 42, 31, 42, 35, 54. It's almost shocking that they've been shut out 5 times this year.
Yep.
So let's go to Ronan. Hey, the Cats started out 0-6, but they've played much better since.
Oh, absolutely, and I think you can credit that to their offensive play. In their first 6 games this season, they were averaging 16.5 points per game. And if you take out one outlier, a game in Spokane, Washington against Gonzaga Prep, of those 5 games, they put up 13.4 points per game. Now, in their last 3 games, including a home conference win against Midi, a neutral site win against Reardon, and a win in San Mateo against the Serra Padres, who are playing St. Francis right now for the WCAL crown, they're averaging 29 points per game these last 3 games.
So that was a big win against Midi a couple of weeks ago right here on the SI Sports Network. Kind of jump-started the team. We kind of had a feeling we weren't going to be able to beat the Serra Padres, but that Midi win and then a big win against Reardon last week.
Oh, absolutely. In that game, the Cats' offense really did look unstoppable. I mean, the Cats, again, put up 35 points, and they totaled 395 yards of total offense. And that they really took the foot off the gas in the fourth quarter with only 1 real drive. So the Cats could have gone for over 400 yards if they'd been in that game.
So our Sean Lahan had a chance to sit down with a couple of our senior captains, Jack Dyke and Lance Sell. So let's listen in as Sean Lahan speaks with captains Jack Dyke and Lance Sell.
All right, I'm here with 2 of the 3 captains of the SI Varsity Football team. Mark Biggins, who is not here, but I'm here with Jack Dyke and Lance Sell. So guys, let's talk a little bit about SI Football, how long you've been playing here, and what position do you play? And let's go to Jack first.
So I've been playing for 4 years, since freshman year, and I play offensive and defensive line.
Lance.
This is my 4th year playing, so I've played all 4 years, and I play outside linebacker and safety.
So we're past the halfway point of the season, but I'm pretty sure you still have expectations and goals for the rest of the way.
Yeah, we definitely still got goals of pushing and finishing strong in league and pushing to the playoffs and beyond. So we have high expectations for these last 4 games and hopefully beyond. So we're definitely excited. Yeah, there's a lot of tradition and pride that comes into playing football at SI. And that's a really cool thing to be able to experience and to be able to play football, you know, with my best friends every day on J.B. Murphy Field is something really special and something that I think myself and a lot of the guys cherish a lot.
Do you guys still have some WCL games left? Which ones are you looking forward to and why?
I'm looking forward to all of them, pretty much the same. I'm just ready to get back out there.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to all 4. I think we're playing some good opponents, and we've had some great games with these opponents in the last couple of years. The Reardon game, called the Gil Haskell game, is going to be a great game. We had a great game against Midi last year, so it'll be fun to have another competitive atmosphere with them. So we're definitely excited for all 4, and all 4 are going to be they're going to be battles.
Do you guys have a favorite NFL or college football player that you admire? Basically their ability and style of play.
Two players come to mind, and that's Tom Brady and J.J. Watt. J.J. Watt just gets after it, and he's super fun to watch. And he was the Defensive Player of the Year 2 years in a row. That was really cool. And Tom Brady is just my favorite player, and Patriots are my favorite team, so I love Tom Brady.
I'm a Minnesota Vikings fan, so Stephon Diggs is probably, one of my favorite players. I look up to his confidence and his swagger and just the way that he plays. And he's definitely a guy that I look up to and who I admire in the way he plays.
Tell me something about a teammate that surprises or inspires you.
I think something that some people don't know is that Mark Stevens is a closet nerd. He's really, really smart, and it's kind of inspiring to me to just do everything right like he does.
Yeah, I think one of our guys, the seniors this year, Matt Rosen, has really kind of stepped into the spotlight and really stepped up and really pushed other guys to get better. It's been very noticeable at practice and definitely in games that he's pushing everyone and that he's making plays and he's making everybody better, which is something that we really need out of him and his senior leadership. So that's something that I've been really proud to be one of his teammates, and I think he's really helped us so far this season.
So describe SI football in a few key words or in a sentence.
I think two words that come to mind are tradition and pride. Lance touched on tradition a little bit already. We have a very, very healthy tradition in this program of winning and playing the right way. And I think we call upon that each and every game that we play. And pride, just having pride in that tradition and having pride in everything that we do and doing it to our best of our abilities. So yeah, those are the two words that I think come to mind.
I'm Kiana Ansari, SI Class of 2020, and I would like to invite you to the annual St. Ignatius Campus Exploration Day on Sunday, November 4th, 2018. This open house is a great way for middle school students and their families to explore the SI campus and speak directly with current SI students, SI faculty, SI coaches, SI club moderators, and SI staff. It's a great opportunity to learn about the academic, campus ministry, athletic, performing arts, community service, clubs, and financial aid offered at SI. No reservations are required. The SI Open House will be from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Sunday, November 4th on the SI campus at 2001 37th Avenue in the Sunset District of San Francisco. For more information, log on to siprep.org and click on admissions. That's siprep.org and click on admissions. See you on November 4th.
Hello, I'm SI Performing Arts student Margaret Dresselhaus, class of 2020, and here's your Fall 2018 SI Performing Arts calendar. On October 10th and 11th in Wiegand Theater, it's the SI Playwright Festival. This year we will celebrate works that are based on true life stories. From November 8th to November 17th in Bannon Theater, we present our annual fall play, Laughter on the 23rd Floor, by Neil Simon. The play takes a comedic look at the backstage chaos of a 1950s TV show. On November 28th and 30th, it's the annual fall concert featuring the SI Orchestras and the Jazz Band in Bannon Theater. The orchestras will feature works by Beethoven, Brahms, Vivaldi, and also some innovative music from the current decade. On December 5th and 7th, it's the annual Winter Choral Concert featuring the SI Chamber Singers and the SI Choral Program. And also in December, from the 12th to the 14th in Wiegand Theater, the SI Dance Workshop presents its winter dance concert, A Million Dreams. For more information, additional performances, and tickets for all the events this fall, log on to siprep.org and click on Arts. That's siprep.org and click on Arts.
We're back here at J.B. Murphy Field, getting ready for the start of tonight's game. The captains are out at midfield for St. Ignatius. The captains Lance Sell, Mark Biggins, Jack Dyke, Ethan Mann for the Bellarmine Bells, Harry Mingrone, Luke Splain, and Tyson Garcia. Now let's turn it over to our public address announcer, Kevin Buckley, and he's going to introduce game prayer and national anthem.
Garcia. And the captains for the Wildcats. Number 2, Lance Sell. Number 3, Mark Biggins. Number 70, Ethan Mann. And number 57, Jack Dyke. Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Let us remember that we are in the holy presence of God. Loving God, bless the Jesuit communities of Bellarmine and St. Ignatius and all the schools of the West Catholic Athletic League. Keep us free from injury as we compete and remind us of our mutual mission of love and respect for one another. Today, we especially pray for the seniors of both teams and thank them for their dedication and leadership for our schools. St. Ignatius of Loyola, pray for us. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Please remain sitting now for our national anthem. The anthem will be sung by St. Ignatius Jr. Daria Terabilo. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
Let's go, Cats! Go, Cats!
So that was our game prayer and national anthem here at J.B. Murphy Field. It's the Cats and the Bellarmine Bells. The Cats won this contest last year down in San Jose, 28-21. Before that, the Bells won 10 straight. The last time SI defeated Bellarmine before those 10 straight was back in 2006, a 26-20 SI victory. In fact, SI won 3 times in a row between 04 and 06. Again, both teams with 2-7 records, and the Bells just with 1 WCAL victory, and the Cats have 2. And speaking of that, it's St. Francis 6-0, Sarah's 5-1, Valley Christian 5-1, Mitty with a win over Sacred Heart Cathedral last night, improved to 3-4. The Irish are 3-4. Cats come in at 2-4. The Bells 1-5. Reardon 0-6. Valley Christian plays Reardon in a little bit. And kicking off the same time as us, St. Francis and Sarah. If St. Francis wins that game, they will be the WCAL champions. If Sarah wins, chance for a three-way tie in the WCAL. The class of the league this year is clearly St. Francis, Sarah, and Valley Christian dominating the league. The Bellarmine Bells not in that picture, haven't been in that picture for a couple of years, and don't know what to tell you about the Bells. A 2-7 record. We talked about all the times that they've been shut out. It's actually quite shocking. St. Ignatius will kick the ball off, and we will get this football game started. Doing the kicking duties for the Cat is Keelan O'Connell. He will get this game underway with a kickoff that's going to be at about the 5-yard line. Nice little run back to about the 25. That's Adam Hayashi for the Bellarmine Bells, and Bellarmine will start that field position right at the 25-yard line.
You mentioned the kicker, Keelan O'Connell. I believe he's a sophomore, and he actually hasn't been on varsity most of this year, so I believe this is his first game on varsity, so it'll be interesting to see how SI chooses to utilize him today.
Sophomore kicker. Quarterback for the Bells is Harry Mangrone. He's number 7. He's going to hand the ball off right away. Trying to move forward is Tyson Garcia, their leading rusher, but Garcia's going to get about 2 yards. That'll bring up 2nd and 8 for the Bells. Of course, their head coach, Mike Janda, has been there forever. Bellarmine likes to run that double wing offense, and I mentioned how many points in the pregame show against SI they have scored over the past 10 years. They're in the 40s, the 50s, easily into the 20s. This year, can't say it enough, they've been shut out 3 games in a row, 4 out of 5, and 5 games all season long. So we'll see if the Bellarmine offense can get moving today. Mangrone from a shotgun. He's going to hand it off to Garcia again, running to his right, and Garcia is going to gain a couple before going out of bounds right about the 29-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd. We'll call it 3rd and 6 for the Bells.
Well, this Cats defense has definitely been pouncing on turnovers over these past 3 games. Last weekend against Reardon, they picked up 3 turnovers. They had 3 takeaways, and then against Sarah they had 1, but against Mitty they had 4. So this team is definitely feasting right now on takeaways.
Yeah, some of those takeaways against the Monarchs turned that ball game around. SI had fallen behind in the 3rd quarter in that game. Of course, SI's defense with a big shutout last week. Chad Jensen, one of the defenders for the Cats. Here's a quick pass now, completed out to Anthony Magri, but Magri's not going to get anywhere near that first down marker, so it's a completed pass, maybe a yard. It's going to bring up 4th down, and SI does a good job of getting off the field and force a Bellarmine punt.
Mark Biggins read that play really well. He cut over from the middle of the field to make the tackle there, and now he's headed back for the punt return.
Mark Biggins indeed will return this kick.
And I think this matchup against the Bellarmine offense really works well for the or is going to fare well for the SI defense, because they have the past couple of years they've been susceptible to the big play, and it doesn't seem like Bellarmine really is going to get many big plays against this SI defense.
Casey Jabe is the kicker, and he angles a nice kick that's going to land right at the 40-yard line and get a great bounce. Boy, that's a great kick by Casey Jabe. He flips the field position. That ball's going to roll dead right about the 20-yard line, so well done by Casey Jabe. We're going to call that a 50-yard kick. Nice punt, and SI will start from their own 20-yard line.
Yeah, and field position, especially for Bellarmine, is so important with this stagnant offense. Again, scoreless in the last 3 games. Anything helps for them to get an edge in this game, so field position is crucial for them today.
Yeah, you're kind of expecting maybe a lower scoring game than normal. I agree with that point. Field position could be a big deal. SI led by their quarterback, Zachary Taylor Smith, taking the field. Smith became the starter about halfway through the season. He's completed 40 out of 78 passes, 51%, 461 yards, has a touchdown pass, has thrown 4 picks. He's in the shotgun with a man in motion, fly sweep. Here's Mark Biggins, nowhere to go. He's going to get hit right away, maybe lose a yard on that one. It'll bring up 2nd and 11 for the Wildcats. Mark Biggins, the leading rusher for the Cats with 510 yards, has 7 touchdowns on the season. We'll see if Deshae Shannon gets the ball on that fly sweep a couple of times today. He had a big game against Mitty a couple of weeks ago. He's got 362 yards rushing on the season.
Yeah, sweeps and motions are definitely a staple of the SI offense this year, and they have been for the past couple of years. They love to use them, especially early in games, to try to catch the defense off their guard.
Shannon is the back, standing next to Taylor Smith. It's going to be a handoff to Deshae, and he gets ahead for about 4 or 5. Bring up third down. We'll call it 3rd and 6 for the Wildcats, 3rd and 7.
And I think we can agree that we're going to see a lot of running this game. You said it's probably going to be a low-scoring game as we see Josiah Shannon limping off the field, which could be
not a good sign already.
No, not at all. But, I mean, I doubt we'll see the ball go through the air too much in this game.
Matt Rosen checks in. Deshae Shannon with that carry. Gained about 3 or 4 on the carry. Didn't look like he took a big hit or anything of that nature, but he did limp off the field. So Taylor Smith is in the shotgun. He's going to put it in the air here. Little screen, middle screen, got room, first down and more. Nice completion to Danny Burke, and Burke gets it across the 35 to the 36, and it's a first down for the Wildcats. Danny Burke has 13 receptions on the year now. He came in with 145. He got 11 on that one. So Danny Burke with a nice reception and the initial first down of the game for either team.
Yeah, Danny Burke's slowly but surely becoming a big part of this SI offense. You know, he had the gadget play touchdown pass against Mitty.
That was a good one.
Yes, and ever since then, he's been getting targets. Yeah, he scored a touchdown against Reardon and
fake the fly sweep, pitch it to Biggins. Mark Biggins going to gain a yard. I want to go back to that play. I talked about turnovers against Mitty. There was a terrific fumble recovery. HSK, is that what you guys call him? That recovered the nice fumble?
Oh, yes.
And then the gadget play, the double pass, the lateral pass, and then the pass down the field really turned that ball game around. Maybe almost turned the season around for the Wildcats.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, no, that play really sparked that. I believe it was a 28-3 run to end that game for the SI team. So, and that's really put them in the position that they are today.
Movement on the line. I believe the Bells jumped. It was 2nd and 10. That's going to make it 2nd and 5. So that's a free 5 yards for the Wildcats.
Correction, Casey. It's SGH.
SGH. Okay.
Yes. Sorry about that.
No, I'm glad. I was going off. I didn't have notes on that one. I was going off the top of my head. So from the gun, 2nd and 5 now. Taylor Smith looking to throw. Has a wheel route closest to us, but he's going to scramble and run. And it looked for a moment like he was going to get the first down, and I think the spot will allow him the first down. So a 5-yard scramble by Zachary Taylor Smith and another first down for the Wildcats.
And Taylor Smith, lately, he's been very good about running when he's in trouble in the pocket. You might remember against Sarah, he had a huge run at the end of the game where he went for like 70 yards on a scramble. So look for that against Reardon, or Bellarmine, sorry, and maybe big plays.
Here's Mark Biggins running hard. Oh, full forward. Nice job of Mark Biggins. Turns about a 3 or a 4-yard gain into an 8-yard gain. It'll bring up 2nd and 2, and helmet comes off, so he'll have to come off the field for at least one play. Right, we were talking about our man SGH, Sayaki Hunkin, sophomore. I believe he was called up in that Mitty game, recovered a fumble. It was a huge turnaround play and that double pass for a touchdown. And next thing you know, the Cats were right back in that ball game and really dominated Mitty the last quarter and a half.
I believe he had an interception that game, too.
He did. That's correct. Yeah, good call. Zachary Taylor Smith, nice pass. A short little completion, but it's going to be enough for another Wildcat first down. Well done to Danny Burke once again. That's his 2nd catch of the night. And Mark Biggins had to come out for one play, comes right back onto the field. So another first down for the Wildcats. That's 3 first downs for SI. They haven't had any huge plays, but very nicely moving the football, started this drive from their own 20-yard line. Controlling the clock. Under 6 minutes to go here, just underway. J.B. Murphy Field. That's Danny Burke in motion, but they're going to hand it straight ahead. Mark Burke for 6 or 7. Call it 8 yards. Mark Burke on a nice first down run. That'll bring up 2nd and 2 for the Wildcats. Kind of a straight ahead gun run that time, and Mark Burke took it. We're going to give him 7 on that play. We'll call it 2nd and 3.
Yeah, the Cats really force feeding Biggins on this drive. He's had a couple big carries, especially on the running downs. Looks like he's a big part of their game plan today.
Biggins is the back. Taylor Smith under center, drops back to throw, and he throws a little short, dangerous pass. A man came in late. Brian Blake got hit, but the ball well behind Brian Blake. And I think all in all, the Cats are just happy to have that one fall incomplete. It'll bring up 3rd down for SI. So 3rd down for SI. And it's going to be a run. Mark Biggins battling it, and he's got the first down. He crossed the 30 to the 28-yard line. Nice run on 3rd and 4, and Mark Biggins gains 6 and picks up another SI first down.
The Cats are also really controlling the pace of this game. They've already taken away 5 minutes on this drive alone.
Cats controlling the ball, started this drive from their own 20.
And Ronan was talking about how, SI, the motion pre-snap is really a big staple of their offense, but it seems like they're having a lot more success against Bellarmine just by, dives, regular, no, motion or anything, just going right.
There it is, Mark Biggins on the play you were just describing, and he's going to get close to 9 yards. We'll call it a 9-yard gain. It's going to bring up 2nd and 1, kind of a gun run, really. Just Biggins running forward. Zach Taylor under center, just hands the ball off straight into the Bellarmine line, and another fine gain for Mark Biggins. We'll call that one 9 yards. It'll be 2nd and 1. Now we're going to call it a 10-yard gain. It's a first down. First down for the Wildcats.
Yeah, I was saying, I mean, the two sort of jet sweep plays that they've run haven't really gone for anything, but this offense they're kind of set up right now as being much more successful.
Here's Biggins again trying to cut back. Not as much room to run this time, but he gains a couple. Not bad on first down. Down to about the 15-yard line. Call it 3. It'll be 2nd and 7.
Yeah, the Cats are, again, they're loving Biggins on this drive. They're force-feeding him. I think that's a very, very good strategy today. They should just control the tempo, control the game.
Well, they've controlled it on this drive so far. Really like to see the Cats finish this off with a play into the end zone. Biggins the back. 3 backs for the Cats on a tight run formation. Mark Biggins again running to his right, cutting back. Gets to about the 10-yard line. Very close to a first down, but he's going to be about a yard or 2 short. It'll bring up 3rd and short for the Wildcats.
This isn't really a look that we've seen much from SI's offense. I mean, it looks like they've got sort of a 2 fullback formation almost that they're using as extra blockers, just go right up the middle, give Biggins some space to work with.
Got to figure Biggins is going to get it this time as well. And it will be Mark Biggins, and very close, very close. SI did not get the push that time. Hard to tell from the spot. It looks like it's going to be maybe a little bit short, definitely short. It's going to bring up 4th down. And John Regalia, he doesn't mind going for it on 4th down. We'll see what he does here.
I was about to mention they are in Cormac Gallagher's field goal range, but it looks like they're not even interested in that right now.
Cormac Gallagher's had a pretty good year. He's made 3 field goals this year, 24 out of 26 on extra points, but they're going to go for it. 4th and inches. We may just see the quarterback sneak, and I don't know. We saw the quarterback sneak. I don't know. It's too close to call. We're going to have to wait for the officials on this one. That is just way too close to call.
They might bring the chains out here.
Let's watch the man in the white hat. Let's see if he's going to make a signal. The SI players think they have a first down. Of course, the Bellarmine players think he was short, which is typical.
It was 4th and inches as it was. I mean, Taylor Smith really only had to reach about 8 inches across the line of scrimmage to get a first down, but
I'm not sure that he got it. They're going to have to measure for this. I don't blame him. This is about the same distance that Bellarmine beat SI back in 1976. You guys remember that game, of course, don't you?
Well, of course.
Well, it's all right here. I told you to do your homework. We'll get into that one a little bit later, but it was the old tiebreaker system. Right here on this field, it was a tie game, 15-15, and each team got a chance to run 4 plays. And after SI's 4th play, the ball was on their own side of the field for a couple of inches, and Bellarmine was supposed to run one more play, and they never did. An incomplete pass would have won the game for the Bells, but you never know what could have happened if they ran that final play, and by an inch, the Cats get the first down. I don't think that makes up for 1976, but it's a nice first down. Nevertheless, it'll be 1st and goal for the Cats from the 8-yard line.
you're right, from our point of view, that literally did look about an inch they got the first down there.
Well, absolutely. Again, I would be surprised they did not hand the ball off here. Oh, they don't.
Here's a pass to the end zone, and it's caught. Touchdown, Wildcats. Is that James Adams, number 80, with the catch?
I believe it was Yugai Tafa, number 84.
Oh, number 84. Alfred Ugatafa with the touchdown catch, and the Cats are on the board, leading 6-0. Cormac Gallagher. Actually, it's going to be Keelan O'Connell to come in and try the extra point.
Really nice throw by Taylor Smith there. He did not have a lot of room, but a nice catch by the tight end there to haul it in for a touchdown.
Oh, absolutely.
And the extra point is on the way, and it is good. And the Cats with an 80-yard drive lead, 7-0, 2:07 to go in the first quarter.
I kind of jinxed myself there, but the Cats offense, they're looking very versatile right now. They're running the ball well, they're throwing the ball well, and they just took 8 minutes off the clock on that 80-yard drive.
My old college roommate, Gene Clancy, checking in. He's still bitter about that game back in 1976. So I'll explain it to you real quick. Both teams were undefeated. Whoever was going to win the game was going to win the WCAL that year. Cats jumped out to a nice lead. A late safety, believe it or not, a late safety tied the score, 15-15, and they had an overtime system in that time where you put the ball at the 50-yard line, and each team had 4 plays alternate, and wherever the ball ended up, if it ended up on the Bellarmine side of the field, SI would win the game and vice versa. And on SI's final play from their own 49.5-yard line, we threw an incomplete pass, and Bellarmine celebrated, and they won the game. But you know what? They should have had to run one more play, because you never know. They could have fumbled the snap from center. They could have jumped off sides. They could have done a lot of things, but it never happened. And here's a kickoff into the end zone. That'll be a touchback as the Bells will start from their own 20-yard line. So here's all the documentation on that game. Right here. See it all, guys?
Yep.
And my buddy who just texted in, Gene Clancy, put all of this together. And if SI gets out to a huge lead today, we're going to dig into the archives of 1976. The class of 77 were seniors that year for the Cats and the Bells. The most bitter defeat in SI football history. Here's Harry Mangrone, the quarterback, and he's going to hand the ball off to Tyson Garcia on that double wing. Going to get ahead for about 7. It'll bring up 2nd and 3 for the Bells.
That SI drive took up a lot of clock. Only 2 minutes left in the first quarter. It was probably close to an 8-minute drive there, going about 80 yards.
So the coach for Bellarmine that day was a gentleman by the name of John Hanna, who had been with the program, I don't know, about 25 years at the time. The guy that took his place is Mike Janda, and Mike Janda standing over there on the sideline. He's still the head coach of the Bellarmine Bells. Here's a little pitch back and a nice run. First down for the Bells. Joey Leiker with the run. He gets it across the 30 to about the 32-yard line, and that's a first down for the Bellarmine Bells. That's their initial first down of the ball game.
Well, the Bells offense, I mean, they got it to 4th and 1. Correct me if I'm wrong. 4th and 1 the last drive. They're not having trouble, I mean, getting a couple yards each play. So all they need is just momentum, and maybe they can march on the field, which is, again, weird because they haven't scored a point in 3 games.
Mingrone's a senior. Here's the double wing formation. And they're going to fake it, and the little cross handoff's going to go nowhere. They faked it to Joey Liker. Garcia for nothing. That'll bring up 2nd and 10. Second down for the Bells. This time 2 receivers, one to the left, one to the right from the shotgun. Mingrone's going to fake the handoff, run to his right, looking for some room, picks ahead for a few, gets to about the 40-yard line. Pretty good run. Going to bring up 3rd and 2. Harry Mingrone, the quarterback for the Bells, on a nice run, setting up a short 3rd down for the Bells.
Looked like sort of a read option play there for Mingrone, and he decided to keep it, and really a nice run there to set up about a 3rd and 3.
And that'll end the first quarter. SI with a nice drive, an 80-yard drive. Lead 7-0. You are watching the SI Sports Network.
I'm Kiana Ansari, SI Class of 2020, and I would like to invite you to the annual St. Ignatius Campus Exploration Day on Sunday, November 4th, 2018. This open house is a great way for middle school students and their families to explore the SI campus and speak directly with current SI students, SI faculty, SI coaches, SI club moderators, and SI staff. It's a great opportunity to learn about the academic, campus ministry, athletic, performing arts, community service, clubs, and financial aid offered at SI. No reservations are required. The SI Open House will be from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Sunday, November 4th on the SI campus at 2001 37th Avenue in the Sunset District of San Francisco. For more information, log on to siprep.org and click on admissions. That's siprep.org and click on admissions. See you on November 4th.
And we're back here at J.B. Murphy Field. The Cats lead the Bells 7-0. We've played 1 quarter. It was an 80-yard drive for the Cats. Taylor Smith with a touchdown pass to Alfred Ugatafa. And SI leads 7-0. The Bells have a 3rd and 2 as we start the second quarter. Good first quarter for the Cats. A well-done drive of 80 yards for SI there. And from that tight double wing formation, the Bells will snap the football right here, and a running play to Garcia, and he is not going to be there. He will be short of the first down. It's going to bring up 4th down, and let's see if the Bells want to go for it. Mike Janda, not adverse to taking a risk. We'll see what he does here on 4th and 1.
Again, field position, especially for Bellarmine today, is going to be so crucial.
And it looks like they're bringing in the kicker. Casey Jabe is the kicker. He got off a terrific kick. His first kick of the game, down at the 20-yard line. And SI has a couple of men deep. Mark Biggins. Deshaun Shannon back into the game. And Casey Jabe to kick it away. That rugby-style kick, it's Shannon at about the 10-yard line. Has to go out of bounds. Really a great kick again by Casey Jabe, and that ball's out of bounds inside the 10. Probably at right about the 7-yard line.
Yeah, that's the second time Jabe's flipped the field position. And it's only his second punt. He looks like he'd be a valuable asset to the Bells today.
Casey Jabe kicking the ball well, and SI will start inside their own 10-yard line. First down for the Wildcats.
And you're talking about that rugby-style kick. I mean, that it's important because it buys your special teams personnel for the Bells more time to get downfield, and because even if Josiah Shannon had been able to field that punt, I mean, he would have had nowhere to go because the Bellarmine guys were able to get downfield quickly.
Yeah, he was trapped to the sidelines, so he did the right thing. It went out of bounds. SI will start from their own 8-yard line. Man in motion is Brian Blake. He sets. Now Shannon in motion. They're going to fly sweep it to Josiah Shannon. He breaks a tackle, gets to about the 15-yard line. That's a positive gain of 7 yards on first down. Bring up 2nd and 3 for the Wildcats. Nice to see number 21 back on the field. Josiah Shannon, he came off the field in the first half. I think he was only on the field maybe for one play of that 80-yard drive that SI had in the first quarter. But he's back on the field now. That's Danny Burke and Brian Blake split near to us, to the left of Taylor Smith. Man in motion, Shannon again, but it's Mark Biggins straight ahead. Mark Biggins across the 20, up to about the 24-yard line. Another first down for the Wildcats.
And like I said, more success for the Wildcats running between the tackles, which is something they really don't usually do with their fly sweeps and those sort of plays. I mean, that's more outside the tackles, getting towards the sidelines running. But, I mean, they've had success running up the gut this game, so don't fix it if it ain't broke, I guess.
I think a lot of that depends on the matchups they have in the line against Bellarmine as opposed to other opponents.
Here's Shannon again. Josiah Shannon's got some room up to about the 35. Almost steps out of a tackle to the 37. And another first down for the Wildcats. Mark Biggins on the sidelines for that play. So the fly sweep to Josiah Shannon. And he gets ahead for 13 yards and a first down for the Wildcats.
Shannon cut to the outside there. Looks like the Cats are still friendly to that outside run.
Shannon with 362 yards rushing on the season. Had the bulk of that against the Midi Monarchs. Well over 100 yards in the game against Midi. He has been a weapon ever since. Has 5 touchdowns on the season for the Wildcats. Here's a straight ahead run for the Cats. Cormac Gallagher bounces to the outside, gains a couple, stays in bounds to the 40-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd and 8.
It'll be interesting to see if Bellarmine's defense is able to make any adjustments to countering this SI offense, because they really have not been able to stop SI's, these constant running plays, and maybe get a negative play here and there, but it seems like SI's consistently getting 2 or 3 yards, even more.
And no penalties in the game, but a mix-up. You could see that SI wasn't exactly sure what they wanted to do there, so John Regalia uses a timeout. Hey, don't forget, tomorrow the St. Ignatius Open House is tomorrow, November the 4th, from 1 to 3 o'clock in the afternoon, right here at 2001 37th Avenue in the Sunset District of San Francisco. This open house is a great way for middle school students and their families to explore the SI campus and speak directly with current SI students, faculty, and staff. For more information, log on to siprep.org and click on admissions. That's siprep.org. Click on admissions. We'll see you tomorrow on campus. Do you guys remember coming to the open house a couple years ago or so when you were in the 8th grade, 7th grade? Were you like in awe of the campus? Come on, just some impressions out here.
I've been there for this shadow day, but open house is a great way to really get to know a lot of stuff around SI that
all the clubs, all the teams, they all have people here representing their activities. So it's just a great way to get to know the school.
You guys going to be here tomorrow?
Yes, I will.
Yes.
Absolutely. There you go. Good job, fellas. 2nd down for the Wildcats from the 40-yard line. We're going to call it 2nd and 7. Zachary Taylor Smith off to a fine start today. Has a touchdown pass. Is the quarterback. Danny Burke is in motion. The Cats moved. A lot of people moved, and we're just going to try and figure out who moved first.
An update in the St. Francis Sarah game. St. Francis just took the lead with, expanded on their lead. They're now kicking to go up 14-0.
So the Lancers are going to go up 14-0. Wow. I heard that the St. Francis Lancers freshman team has a victory over De La Salle this year. It's just only going to get better. I believe, for the Lancers. That's a 5-yard penalty against SI. 2nd and 12. Zachary Taylor-Smith running to his right in trouble. Nice move to elude tackler, and he throws a first down pass completed to Marcus Sweeney, and a big gain and a first down for the Wildcats into Bellarmine territory at the 45-yard line.
As I said before, Zach Taylor-Smith is great at moving around in the pocket, finding some space to either run or, make a pass, and that's exactly what he did there.
Huge completion for the Wildcats, and a big first down into Bellarmine territory. Sweeney to his right, along with Danny Burke. 3 receivers to the right. A man in motion now coming left, and it's Shannon, and it's going to be the fly sweep, and Jashai Shannon gets ahead for about 4 yards. Right to the 41-yard line. It'll bring up 2nd and 6 for the Wildcats.
And the Cats are definitely taking their time to get to the line. They want to dominate the time of possession today. They don't want to give Bellarmine any time at all, especially if the game is close late.
And as we look at the clock right now, we've got about 8 minutes left in this half. SI could really take a big chunk out of this, especially if they get down into the red zone and maybe score a touchdown. I mean, Bellarmine, they could go up and at the end of this half be up 14-0, and Bellarmine will probably not have much time to do anything at the end of this half as well.
SI with another penalty, their 2nd false start. Going to move them back 5 yards. Don't forget, at halftime, we have a interview with head coach John Regalia, class of 93, talking about the second half of the season. Plus, girls volleyball captains Megan Lucy, Emily McCarthy, and Lizzie Fleming. Man, oh man, oh man. It was another epic battle last night between the Cats and the Irish. 4 times this year, Sacred Heart Cathedral and St. Ignatius has played. And 4 times this year, Sacred Heart Cathedral has defeated the Cats in volleyball. 3 out of those 4 times, they went to 5 sets. Last night, 15-12 in the 5th. Congratulations to the Irish. Here's the screen set up, and it's set up to Mark Biggins, and he's hit for a loss. Biggins completed the screen, but got hit for a loss. That's going to bring up 3rd down for the Cats, 3rd and about 13.
Going back to that volleyball game, SI, they were up 2-0, and they really were in a position to win that match and the CCS Open title, but Sacred Heart with a great comeback to steal that away.
You know, in the WCAL championship game, the Cats had 2 championship points. We're ahead 14-12 in the 5th set, and the Irish won 4 straight to win that one 16-14 in the 5th. Here's Zachary Taylor-Smith looking, throwing deep downfield, has a man wide open, got it at the 20-yard line. Matt Rosen down at the 15-yard line. Matt Rosen with the reception and a big first down for the Wildcats.
Well, throughout the season, we've seen Taylor-Smith's confidence just skyrocket, and you can tell on that play. He made that play look effortless as he hit a wide open Matt Rosen in stride for the first down.
34 yards on the completion. Zachary Taylor-Smith with his 2nd big completion on this drive. He has a touchdown pass in the game. Zachary Taylor-Smith really, really looking comfortable in that quarterback position. Shannon is the back, man in motion. Burke, bad snap. Zachary Taylor-Smith does the right thing, fall on the ball. It's going to be a big loss, but it'll be 2nd down for the Wildcats back to the 25-yard line.
And going back to that big reception, SI doesn't really like to throw the ball deep very much, but it always seems like they do that once or twice every game. And it always seems to work where they have that one receiver that's wide open for an easy gain of 30 or 40 yards.
Yeah, it happens when you can run the football. And SI has been running the football quite well today, although with that snap going awry, it brings up 2nd and 20. So let's see if Zachary Taylor-Smith will throw the ball. Instead, it's a fly sweep. Danny Burke's going to throw the ball, and he's got an open man, but the pass comes up short. A little gadget play there by the Wildcats. Try to get it to Matt Rosen. Danny Burke couldn't get the ball to him, and that'll bring up 3rd down, but a nice little play for the Wildcats that time.
Yeah, that play drops Danny Burke's passing percentage completion percentage on the year to 50%. But
yeah, he was doing pretty good before that. 1 for 1, 27 yards, and a touchdown. That was the play against Midi that kind of turned the momentum around. Danny Burke with the touchdown pass this season. He's actually tied for the team lead, or not anymore. Zachary Taylor-Smith just threw his second touchdown pass. 3rd and long for the Wildcats.
I wonder if he still has the highest passer rating on the team. I think he still might be up there.
Zachary Taylor-Smith from the gun. He's going to roll to his right. Looking downfield. Now he's going to run for it. It's going to be a nice gain. He gets out of bounds, but it's going to be well short of the first down. Out of bounds right about the 15-yard line. From here, that sets up a field goal of attempt of about 33 yards. And Keelan O'Connell, the sophomore kicker, who looks like has won this job, even though Cormac Gallagher did a nice job kicking for the Wildcats. Of course, Cormac Gallagher is also a running back and a linebacker and plays a lot of different positions. So Keelan O'Connell is going to attempt a field goal, and we'll spot it at the 22, so it will be a 32-yard attempt.
This is why you call him up.
Sophomore kicker, Keelan O'Connell. Kick is on the way, but it's going to be wide and no good. So the Bells hold and will take over on their own 20-yard line.
That really was a big stop for the Bells right there. 5:30 left on the clock. They have a chance to, I'd assume they aren't going to be throwing the ball much, so they're going to take up probably the rest of this half on this possession, assuming they don't go 3 and out or something. But and they can, go into halftime tied 7-7 and really in a good position.
Well, we did say it would probably be a low-scoring game, and so far just the 1 touchdown for the Wildcats.
Again, we can see the impact that special teams have on the game. I mean, the missed field goal and the 2 great punts by the Bells.
And here's a running play that's not going to get anything. Tyson Garcia with no gain. Yeah, good point. With a couple of great kicks by the Bellarmine punter, SI could have more points on the board, because that drive got deep. It got to the 15-yard line following a terrific punt. Of course, the bad snap really hurt SI on that last drive. 2nd and 9. Bells have receivers split to the right side of Harry Mangrone. He's going to go under center, and he's going to drift to his right and fire one towards the sideline. Incomplete. Tried to get it to Matt Pinelli. Covered well by Mark Biggins. And that'll bring up 3rd down. Clock stopping with the incomplete pass. So if SI can hold here, they're going to get the ball back with plenty of time here before halftime.
I mean, at least it looks like the Bells aren't afraid to throw the ball if they need to. In a passing down there, they went to the air and it failed for them, but receiver hit the flat well.
Mangrone is from the gun, looking to throw, throwing deep down towards the sidelines to the big man, and it's going to go incomplete. Looking for number 85, Tyreek Jinks, and that ball falls incomplete. The junior couldn't get to it. Big, tall 6'4" receiver, and that'll bring on Casey Jabe, who really has been, hate to say it, the star of the game for the Bells so far, with 2 great punts.
Well, that was great coverage there by Hackfeld. He could have easily been more aggressive and maybe drawn a pass interference call, but he made sure he didn't interfere, and he made sure that he prevented the long pass.
Jashai Shannon is our man deep. Here's that rugby-style kick. This one not a good kick. It's going to bounce at about the 45-yard line and get down right about the 43, so a bit of an SI bounce. And SI starts deep in their own territory on a short punt that time from Casey Jabe. SI will start from the Bellarmine 43-yard line.
We've been talking about field position. SI's got the ball about, Reardon's 43 with 4:30 to go. So Bellarmine, as I said, it was a 3 and out, so they did not take off much clock at all. So this puts SI in a position to sort of do the opposite of what Bellarmine was trying to do, maybe go up into halftime up 14-0 and be very confident going into second half.
Danny Burke in motion.
Yeah, the Cats do get the second half kickoff, so it gets some momentum here.
Fake it to Biggins, wide open man, first down. A beautiful throw from Zachary Taylor-Smith. A marker is down. Matt Rosen with a big reception. For the moment, all the way down to the 15-yard line, but we have to check out the marker. Zachary Taylor Smith to Matt Rosen has been a connection today at least twice on big plays. We may have had a block in the back after the reception, would be my guess, but it looks like the reception yardage will count, and now SI will be penalized from the 20-yard line, a block in the back after the play was made. So they'll get marked back to the 30-yard line, but the play's going to be good enough for a first down. Was a 24-yard completion, but we'll only get 14 yards on the play and another first down for the Cats.
And it looked like Marcus Sweeney knew exactly right when he did it. That was a block in the back for a penalty, but SI still, as you said, gets a lot of positive yardage from that.
So Taylor Smith will get credit for a 24-yard completion. 10 yards on the penalty, marks it back, and SI now shifts their line. Marcus Sweeney comes split well to the left in the fly sweep. Danny Burke makes a man miss, weaving his way inside the 25 to about the 23-yard line. Nice run from Danny Burke. Bring up second and short for the Wildcats.
Cats are also using some sweet precious time here, which I think obviously, which I think is part of their game plan today, and I think it works. Trying to make sure Bellarmine does not really have a chance to work out a long drive before the half is over.
Timeouts could be interesting at the end of this half as well. Bellarmine still has all three of their timeouts. SI also has two. So if Bellarmine does not choose to use their timeouts, they can still really take their sweet precious time and make sure they get a touchdown or at least some sort of points on the board to end the half.
Taylor Smith from the gun. Danny Burke again cuts it in this time. Gets a first down. It's a short run, but enough for a first down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. Call it 4 yards. And another first down for the Wildcats.
Yeah, Burke has been featured well all day. That's a second straight handoff, but he's also been using the slot well today. He had the incomplete pass, but outside of that, he also has 2 receptions so far. So they are using him a lot today in the Wildcat offense.
SI controlling the clock, but they really got to finish this drive off with points. SI leads 7-0. They've dominated the game much more than the scoreboard at this point. It's going to be Mark Biggins on the fly sweep. Biggins angling his run inside the 5, inside the touchdown Wildcats. Mark Biggins from 18 yards and an SI touchdown.
They were waiting to call his name all drive. Had a lot of handoffs in the first quarter. It was quiet for a bit, and then he breaks off a long run. He goes 22 yards for a touchdown for the Wildcats.
And really some nice downfield blocking there by the Cats. I believe Josiah Shannon was maybe the lead blocker there, the other Wildcat running back. And that really helped Biggins get some room to slide into the end zone there.
And the extra point is nicely done from Keelan O'Connell, and the Cats lead 14-0. Here's some upcoming performances this fall from the SI Performing Arts Department, the oldest high school performing arts company west of the Mississippi. From November 8th to November 17th in Bannon Theater, the fall play is Laughter on the 23rd Floor by Neil Simon. The play takes a comedic look at the backstage chaos of a 1950s TV show. For tickets, log on to presssiprep.org and click on Arts. From the November 28th to the 30th, it's the annual fall concert featuring the SI Orchestra and Jazz Band in Bannon Theater. The orchestras will feature work by Beethoven, Brahms, Vivaldi, and more innovative music from the current decade. Again, tickets for that, siprep.org. Click on the Arts. From December 5th through the 7th, or December 5th and the 7th, it's the annual Winter Choral Concert featuring the SI Chamber Singers and the SI Choral Program. Also in December from the 12th to the 14th in Wiegand Theater, the SI Dance Workshop presents its winter dance concert, A Million Dreams. Once again, for tickets, log on to siprep.org and click on the Arts. You guys going to go to a couple of the shows? Check it out?
Yeah, I've heard the fall play is very good this year. I remember last year, Mr. Curry always does a great job with the musical and play, so I will be definitely attending that, I think.
Yeah, the play last year was very good. All the shows were sold out. I had a hard time getting a ticket, but it was very, very good.
Here's a nice kickoff deep inside the 5-yard line for the Bells. Adam Hayashaki gets it back to the 25, 26-yard line, and the Bells will start from there with 2:27 to go in the first half, and the Cats leading here 14-0. You know, guys, we've been talking about it all game. In the 10-game winning streak, the Bells in 2007 start from there. They beat the Cats 24-19, 50-14, 18-11, 35-10, 54-14, 35-28, 42-28, 31-28, 42-6, 37-3, and with 2:27 to go, they got 0. Mingren to throw over the middle, completed to about the 30-yard line and taken down right away. Andrew Packard with the reception for the Bells, but a short gain, and that's going to bring up second down for Bellarmine.
Yeah, Jack Hackfeld was playing great at cornerback today. Again, he had the great coverage to prevent the Bellarmine from getting a first down the last drive, and then he got over about halfway across the field to make a tackle.
John Regalia, I believe, uses this timeout on defense. Well done. Bellarmine has not been able to move the football, so if SI can get a stop here, preserve some time, get the ball back, try and get some more points before halftime.
Cats also received the opening kickoff for the second half, so they really have nothing to lose if they get the ball back.
Okay, so other SI alumni events on November the 18th. St. Ignatius will give its highest honor to a graduate of the school, the Christ the King Award. This year's recipient is John Dugan from the class of 59. John and his family own both Original Joe's Restaurant in North Beach and in Westlake. Log on to siprep.org and click on Alumni for more information on this special day. And remember, for latest updates on St. Ignatius class reunions and upcoming class Christmas lunches and dinners, log on to siprep.org and click on Alumni for more information. And do you guys know who the Christ the King Award winner was back in 1981?
No.
My dad.
Oh, wow.
Not have guessed that.
Francis J. Murphy. There you go.
I was about to guess the referee in the 1976 WCAL.
No. He would not be in there. Mingron's in big trouble, and he just fires it down the sideline and incomplete. Great pass rush by SI on that time. And Harry Mingron had nothing to do with that football. The incomplete pass stops the clock, saving SI a timeout, and it'll bring up third down for the Bells.
And 2:12 to go. SI's got one timeout left. We talked a lot about Bellarmine's punter and how he can easily flip the field. So if Bellarmine doesn't get a first down here, I doubt the Wildcats are going to try and make it 21-0.
Oh, they will. If Bellarmine doesn't get a first down here, SI use the timeout unless it's an incomplete pass, get the football back and go. Zachary Taylor-Smith's on fire, and they will throw it. They're going to throw it deep middle, and it's going to be incomplete. Almost intercepted. Nice play by Jack Hagfeld again, playing the great defensive back. SI saves the timeout, and Bellarmine will have to kick it away.
Again, Hackfeld was benched at quarterback for Zachary Taylor-Smith after Teddy Buchanan went down earlier this year, and he has really, rebounded this, especially at defensive back. He's been making some great plays.
He's been terrific. The Mitty game, I was so impressed. I mean, he did a heck of a job. Number 16 for Mitty. Remember Joe Vaughn? He had a great game last night against Sacred Heart. Oh, here's a great kick. Casey Jabe had a bad kick the last time. It's a bomb this time. Mark Biggins going to pick it up at the 20-yard line, running to his right, trying to cut back. Not a bad return. Gets it back out to about the 24-yard line. So Casey Jabe again flips the field position. So SI, hoping for better field position, still has a chance with 1:57 to go before halftime and a 14-0 lead. Yeah, Hagfeld's been playing some terrific defensive back. That Vaughn had a huge game against the Irish last night in engineering that Mitty victory. I have no idea what happens if SI holds on to this lead. Three teams will be 3-4. Mitty, SH, Sacred Heart Cathedral, SI. I don't know, Sean, do you have any idea? Everybody's 3-4 and everybody's beating everybody. Hard to tell. Maybe everybody gets into the playoffs. I don't know.
I believe it's something along the lines of SH and Mitty will have automatic bids, but the winner of this game likely is an at-large bid for CCS.
There's a completed pass, but no gain. Marcus Sweeney with the completion. Clock moving. SI does have one timeout left.
Again, I do wonder if at what point, again, the points in the committee that maybe running up the score here would benefit the Wildcats in their point differential category.
Taylor Smith on a quarterback draw. He's going to get across the 30 to the 31-yard line. SI either needs to get to the line quickly or use a timeout here. It's 3rd and short, and they're going to go with the timeout. So that's going to be the, well, I don't know. They did not use a timeout. The officials stopped the clock, and I just have no idea why they did that. They really shouldn't have done that. Clock starts again. Zachary Taylor Smith. Fly sweep. Danny Burke cuts it up, and he's not going to get a first down. He's going to be short, so SI's either going to have to kick it away or go for it on 4th down. And they call it a first down?
It looked like Burke might have made a last sort of ditch movement to get the first down there, and I guess that
so they
didn't
call
get
it
him.
a first down. So it's a first down for the Wildcats. Clock at a minute. Danny Burke in motion, and a penalty stops the play. False start against the Wildcats.
It's a generous spot. Let's go. I'm talking more about the play the spot. That was a very generous spot for the Cats. Hopefully they can capitalize off of that.
Yeah, thank you for that. I thought he was definitely going to be short. But the first down given, but the penalty does mark it back. And the clock is moving under a minute now. Taylor Smith from the gun. Looking right at us, throws a short pass, completed nicely to Marcus Sweeney. Good job, Marcus Sweeney, get out of bounds. He got as many yards as he could have across the 40 to the 42, and then he got out of bounds. Well done, Marcus Sweeney, the senior. 2nd and short for the Wildcats. 48 seconds.
Oh no, this is a very good crowd to come out to JB Murphy Field. I'd say it's the biggest crowd for a home game this year. I think it pretty easily, and this might be the biggest home crowd I've seen since I've been a student here. So this is just, it's great to see.
Taylor Smith from the gun, rolling to his right this time. Sidesteps the tackler, throws it deep middle, has a man completed, well done to Marcus Sweeney, breaking a tackle. First down, Wildcats, out of bounds at the 27-yard line in Bellarmine territory. 39 seconds to go before halftime. SI still has 1 timeout remaining.
And that puts them in a great spot to, at the very least, put points up on the board. We saw them use Keelan O'Connell, at least in a field goal attempt, from 32 out. They're at about the, about the 27, so they need a little over 10 yards to be another 30-yard field goal attempt. Of course, O'Connell missed it, but it seems like if Regalia was willing to use him there, that he has confidence in him to make a field goal from that distance.
3 receivers split to the left. Taylor Smith looking that way. No one to throw to yet. Throws short. Nice check down. Completed pass and a nice positive gain. Brian Blake gets it down close to a first down. And SI uses their final timeout. Blake right at the marker, very close. SI uses a timeout with 30 seconds to go. Definitely in field goal range now. And really time for a couple of shots into the end zone, guys.
Yeah, why kick a field goal and you can take a couple of shots. Of course, you probably don't want to put the ball over in the middle of the field, especially for a short gain. But yeah, you might as well take a couple of shots.
So we talked about that Midi win over Sacred Heart Cathedral last night, 26-14. Midi and Sacred Heart Cathedral both 3-4. If SI keeps it going like they're doing it now with a 14-0 lead and moving right before halftime, SI will also go to 3-4. The Bells will drop to 1-6. Shockingly poor record for the Bells this year. Tough season for Mike Janda. Tough season last year as well. Bells have been shut out 3 straight times. Sacred Heart Cathedral beat them a couple of weeks ago for the first time since 1994, something like that. First time that the Irish have beaten the Bells since the 94 season. So tough times down on the Bellarmine campus for football. Been dominant for so many years. Here's Taylor Smith. It's 2nd down. It's 2nd and inches. And SI's going to go ahead and get the first down. Mark Biggins is going to turn it into a touchdown. Mark Biggins from 18 yards broke a tackle and took it in. That's his second 18-yard touchdown run of the day. Mark Biggins, 2 touchdowns, and the Cats lead 20-0 with the extra point to come.
Yeah, I'll say I will say the most crucial decisions of this drive was when Marcus Sweeney, worked his way out of bounds on the two passes. That saved up clock, so the Cats, could have had the decision to run the ball there for the touchdown with Biggins.
And running the ball there, the clock would have stopped after the first down to move the chains. So SI would have gotten right to the line, but Biggins took care of that as he took it into the end zone. 3 out of 3 on extra points. Keelan O'Connell and the Cats lead 21-0 right before halftime. Don't forget, Sean Lahan had a chance to sit down with head coach John Regalia, class of 93. Nice little chat about the second half of the season, plus an interview with SI girls volleyball captains Megan Lucy, Emily McCarthy, and Lizzie Fleming. Of course, Lizzie Fleming attending Duke next year. And the girls had another terrific run in the CCS. Jen Curtin's doing a fabulous job. Take away 4 games against Sacred Heart Cathedral, and it's been a super successful season. But again, congratulations to Sacred Heart Cathedral, who won the WCAL regular season of girls volleyball. They won the WCAL championship, and now they've won the CCS. Congratulations in girls golf to the Valley Christian Warriors, Scott Hathaway's team. Finished 3rd in the CCS. They will move on to the NorCals. Grace Bettis and Camilla Chung were represented for SI, but neither of them shot low enough to move on to NorCals. But the Valley Christian Warriors will go to the NorCal representing the West Catholic Athletic League. So congratulations to Scott Hathaway for that. SI girls tennis doing quite well around campus. And here's a kickoff deep right about the 1-yard line. The run back is going to be a broken tackle. A penalty is going to go against the Wildcats, I believe. There's only 16 seconds to go. Adam Hayashi with a nice return. Looked like he got horse-collared. And Bellarmine will have a couple of plays here before the end of the first half.
Going back to the touchdown, that's a big touchdown too. For SI's confidence. We've talked about all day about Bellarmine's offensive struggles. Wildcats have 21 points on the board. Bellarmine's only done that once this season, and that was against Reardon. They won 34-20. So SI can almost lay back and really just focus on defense here, because there's not a great chance that Bellarmine's going to put up 21 points to really match the SI offense.
Well, I brought it up earlier. Again, the Cats do get this kickoff for the second half, so they can just, again, if they stick with their game plan, they'll take off a lot of, assuming they'll move the ball down the field, they can take off a lot of clock, and again, just demoralize the Bellarmine defense, just take them completely out of the game.
Want to hear from an old guy? Pour it on. You never know what's going to happen. Don't hold back. Keep scoring points. Do you want to know what the scores were? Did I tell you those scores? 42-6, 54-14, 50-14. Come on, you cannot stop. You got to keep playing. And the Cats, like you say, they're going to get that second half kickoff. They got to get the full offense out there and ram it right down the field and try and get up another touchdown. No doubt about it. Do not take the foot off the accelerator. Mingrone with 12 seconds. He's going to go deep down middle. Play is covered. Pass is incomplete. Down to 7 seconds. Bellarmine will have maybe 2 more snaps here on 3rd down.
You talk about those big, point scores those Bellarmine teams have run up. From what I'm seeing today, it does not look like this is the same Bellarmine team of past years. I mean, we've seen on these, just even in this drive, I mean, this does not really look like a team that's going to put up 50 in the second half, but as Ronan says, I mean, SI in the second half is their first possession can really just demoralize this Bellarmine team.
Garcia's going to get out of bounds. That's going to bring up 4th down for the Bells, 4th and short. And with 1 second, Bellarmine has a chance to throw a deep ball here. Big number 85. Tyreek Jinks checks into the game.
If I were the Bells, again, I just let it rip here. Just try to see if you can just chuck it down for a Hail Mary, because putting the ball makes no sense here. Running the ball really doesn't.
Oh, they're going to run a play, no question about it.
Well, they haven't gotten anything else going, so maybe a Hail Mary might be the best thing that they can do.
I mean, remember the Medi game? Medi had a miracle touchdown at the end of the half.
They did. Mingrone in trouble, is going to have a hard time getting the ball downfield, and he throws it sideline, and the ball is incomplete, and that's going to end the first half. Your score at halftime, it's the Cats 21, the Bells nothing. You are watching the SI Sports Network.
I'm here with the head coach, John Regalia, SI class of 1993. He's in his 8th year as head coach of the Varsity Wildcats. So, Coach, we're past the halfway point of the season, but I definitely know you still have expectations and goals for your team.
Our goals are kind of the same week to week. You know, we want to make sure that we're, as coaches, teaching and coaching the very best we can in terms of preparation. And then, of course, as players, continue to develop skills and put that together and keep building our team overall each week. So that remains, and we've got goals to finish our regular season and push the postseason, which are still not only very much alive, but something that we're keeping our eyes on.
So it happens every season. So let's talk about the new players and turnover on your team.
Yeah, we've had a number of guys in all classes really kind of step into great roles for us and have developed nicely over the course of the season. You know, we've got some seniors like Matt Rosen who have really developed this year to push to play and push the guys around him. That's been not a surprise because we expect that out of him, but it's been nice to see. We've had some younger guys really develop quickly and develop into key roles. We have 4 sophomores up with us, and Josiah Shannon has done an excellent job from the start. Very, very athletic, capable, smart young man, great work ethic, great energy about him. Very, very good athlete, both offensively and defensively, running the football as an offensive player and a great player in space also as a defensive back. And Shockey Hunkin has now kind of been has been brought up and elevated to the varsity level midseason. Has done a great job at the middle linebacker position. And our line guys with David Lewis and Gavin Dunn keep progressing, and they're doing a good job. So with those sophomores, our juniors, we've had a number of juniors play from Teddy Buchanan at the quarterback position along with Zach Taylor-Smith. They've done a great job, both of them, in growing in that position. With Teddy and his injury, he is now able to at least play defense for us, and he's a tremendous athlete, very, very mature young man, great work ethic. So having him develop there has been great. Jafer Snipes has been a good developmental player for us at a middle linebacker position as a junior. Just to name a few, but there have been a number of guys that have done a great job developing. Lance Sell comes to mind as a senior in a new position as a captain. Has really, really developed into a defensive icon for us, especially in his not just level of play, but his just what he brings to the field with his energy and enthusiasm and leadership. So that, along with the players that we've seen over the last few years, Jack Dyke has been a 3-year varsity starter for us at the offensive line positions, also now playing D-line. Mark Biggins has been a 3-year varsity starter for us on both sides of the ball and in our special teams game, running back and as an offensive threat as well as a defensive back. So we take the newer parts and we put them with the experienced parts, and it's been a good mesh.
What are the best parts of being a football coach for you?
Well, I think it's always been, and I think it develops this way even more so now. And 23 years of coaching high school football, I think the best thing is the relationships, the opportunity to build relationships with the players and the coaches and the families and develop that over time, and now having had an opportunity to coach, multiple brothers through the program and have those families stay with us. It's been an honor for me to be able to do that. And it's challenged me to be better, in a lot of different ways, as I have an opportunity hopefully to challenge the people in our program to be better.
So tell me your team philosophy. What do you want your players to learn while being football players here at SI?
Well, we're very much about, the football part of it is absolutely important to us, the on the field, but also the off the field part of football. So it's the training as an athlete and the process of competing and the process of preparation on top of the skill building and the development of each player individually within that. And then also as a team and really building our team. I mean, those things are super important to us. But with that, it's also about just the complete person, right? So that's an extension of our school and our school expectations and mission. And that's definitely part of our program. I mean, we very much want to develop our players and have them help them develop in themselves their spirituality, whether it's a faith, a Catholic faith, or it's something else where they are, but for them to really realize that and have an opportunity to do that through our program. Also develop themselves as students, so they could be the very best students they can be, and whatever that looks like for them, but they can really develop the habits that are going to allow them to increase their knowledge and be great in the classroom. So those are the things that we expect. Those are the things we work for, and those are the things that we kind of demand in each other.
I'm Kiana Ansari, SI class of 2020, and I would like to invite you to the annual St. Ignatius Campus Exploration Day on Sunday, November 4th, 2018. This open house is a great way for middle school students and their families to explore the SI campus and speak directly with current SI students, SI faculty, SI coaches, SI club moderators, and SI staff. It's a great opportunity to learn about the academic, campus ministry, athletic, performing arts, community service, clubs, and financial aid offered at SI. No reservations are required. The SI Open House will be from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Sunday, November 4th on the SI campus at 2001 37th Avenue in the Sunset District of San Francisco. For more information, log on to siprep.org and click on admissions. That's siprep.org and click on admissions. See you on November 4th.
All right, I'm here with the three captains of the girls' varsity volleyball team. So let's go down the line. Tell us about yourselves, how long you've been playing volleyball here at SI, and what position do you play?
I'm Megan Lucy. I've been playing volleyball at SI since freshman year, and I play outside.
I'm Emily McCarthy. I've also been playing volleyball here at SI since freshman year, and I'm a middle blocker.
I'm Lizzie Fleming, and I've also been playing volleyball at SI since freshman year, and I'm also a middle blocker.
So in the last 2 seasons, SI Volleyball has been on an amazing and historic run with appearances in the CCS Open Division Playoffs and NorCal Open Division Playoffs. What are your expectations and goals for this season?
Well, we've had such an amazing past few years, and the team is so strong this year again. So I just expect us to just play every game the best we can and do as well as we can, and just play with the same heart we've been playing with the past few years.
I think our goal is just to take it one game at a time, and especially to win the WCAL, because we haven't been able to do that in the past. So I think that's our first goal, and then to just continue trying to push that open division.
I agree with them, and also just another thing is that it all starts in practice, so we're going to keep working hard in preparation for all these games and hopefully come out on top this year.
So you had some enthusiastic home crowds last year at SI, especially in the game against Sacred Heart Cathedral. Why is volleyball so exciting to watch in person?
Volleyball is such a fast-paced game. There's so little off time, and watching people play volleyball and move so fluidly together, and it's just so exciting to just see it. It's so fast-paced. So much is happening all at the same time. It's really hard just not to be so excited to watch volleyball.
I think volleyball has a lot of passion, and you can definitely see that when you're watching the players on the court, and it's really easy to get excited in the crowd when someone gets a good kill or a good dig.
What WCL teams are you looking forward to playing against, and why?
I think Midi is going to be a big game for us. We've been trying to beat them for years, and it's never been a blowout. It's always been so close. We've always been right there within 2 points. So I think this is finally the year.
So what do you do at SI besides play volleyball?
I run a club for human trafficking awareness called Break Free, and I'm also part of St.Ignatius.
I also have a club called the Wild Heart Club that raises awareness for elephant conservation, and I'm part of St.Ignatius and the service club here.
I'm part of Ambassadors Club, which works with prospect students.
Tell me something about one of your teammates that surprises or inspires you.
One of my teammates, Maggie Doyle, who's a middle, she's a junior. She's just one of the happiest people I've ever met. She's one of the most supportive teammates I've ever had, always cheering, always loud on the bench. She's 100% herself all the time and always there to cheer you on, no matter if she's playing or if she's sitting.
So I think one of the hardest working players on our team is Sierra Tyson, who is our setter, and she runs a 5-1, which means she never really gets a break. She never really complains about that, and she always works hard and doesn't really get a lot of credit, so I would honor her and her hard work.
One of the teammates that inspires me is Ellie. She tore her ACL last season, and she's just jumped back from it, and she works hard every single day at practice and in all the games.
So describe SI Volleyball in a few words or in a sentence.
I'd say SI Volleyball is a community. We have such great chemistry. We always have had such great chemistry, and it's so great to have 17 other girls there to support you on and off the court.
Hello, I'm SI Performing Arts student Margaret Dresselhaus, class of 2020, and here's your Fall 2018 SI Performing Arts calendar. On October 10th and 11th in Wiegand Theater, it's the SI Playwright Festival. This year we will celebrate works that are based on true life stories. From November 8th to November 17th in Bannon Theater, we present our annual fall play, Laughter on the 23rd Floor, by Neil Simon. The play takes a comedic look at the backstage chaos of a 1950s TV show. On November 28th and 30th, it's the annual fall concert featuring the SI Orchestras and the Jazz Band in Bannon Theater. The orchestras will feature works by Beethoven, Brahms, Vivaldi, and also some innovative music from the current decade. On December 5th and 7th, it's the annual Winter Choral Concert featuring the SI Chamber Singers and the SI Choral Program. And also in December, from the 12th to the 14th in Wiegand Theater, the SI Dance Workshop presents its winter dance concert, A Million Dreams. For more information, additional performances, and tickets for all the events this fall, log on to siprep.org and click on Arts. That's siprep.org and click on Arts.
I'm Ann Strickers, SI Religious Studies teacher and JV Girls golf coach, and here's your sports and spirituality moment. A new school year is underway. Thinking back to that first day of classes, I still get a little nervous, which I think is a good thing. The day largely feels, however, like a ritualized song and dance. Students walk into the classroom, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, wondering where they'll sit and which one of their friends or classmates are in the same course. I have my talking points. I do what I can to extend a warm and personal welcome, and I let them know a little bit about who I am and what we'll study. This year, I decided I wanted to leave them with but one hope and expectation for the course: to fail. If you're a parent, those words should be of major concern. If you're a student, that F word is an injustice. However, if you're an athlete, especially a golfer, maybe you have at least a small sense of where I'm coming from. Indeed, sports and spirituality have taught me the power and the good of my hope and expectation for the new school year, a lesson that is articulated best by a young man in an unlikely setting and in an unsuccessful place. Going the Extra Length, produced by CBS Sunday Morning, is a story about how we might become successful people. Their website states, quote, "The swim coach of Seguin High School in Arlington, Texas, says you can't overstate the underachievement of his school swim team. He measures success by his athletes not getting disqualified. So when Gerald Hodges, pretty good athlete who could not swim, joined up, it was because he couldn't bear not being good at something." Steve Hartman of CBS talked with Hodges about how he was able to measure success in the final lap. I hope you'll live by the words of Gerald this year. If I couldn't handle not being good at something, how could I consider myself to be a successful person? Gerald Hodges. Let me repeat that. If I couldn't handle not being good at something, how could I consider myself to be a successful person? I hope my students and my golfers learn how to handle not being good at something. I hope they find themselves failing, and when they do, I want them to work hard, listen to others, ask for help from their teachers, parents, coaches, and realize what they are made of to improve, get better, and grow stronger. Who knows where that can and will take them. Setting yourself up for failure is actually the key to success, especially if you can somehow master your weakness. That's your sports and spirituality moment. I'm Ann Strickers.
Back here at JB Murphy Field, Cats lead 21 to nothing at halftime over the Bellarmine Bells. What a great spot there by Ann Strickers, teacher here at St. Ignatius and a girls golf coach. I play a lot of golf with Ann, Sean, and we know what that fail looks like. If you want to fail at something, trust me, go play golf. What an apropos spot right next to you, Sean. Roger D'Souza, a golf professional. His son Davis D'Souza, a student here at St. Ignatius, a sophomore, plays on the JV football team, also plays on the golf team. But, it's funny that spot just makes me think Ann's correct. If you want to be, you have to fail. You have to fail at things in life before you can really become successful. And boy, is she right about that. Try golf. You'll fail. Hey, joining us for the second half, Ryan Margulies and Liam Baker. And I don't know, start with Liam, I guess. Liam, what do you think? Impressions of the first half? Cats offense running smoothly and the defense with a shutout.
Well, SI's offense is very impressive. Early in the first quarter, they had a nice 8-minute drive where they just ran the ball down the gut of the Bellarmine defense and just tired them out and ran down the clock and resulted in a touchdown. And I think that has kind of been this game has turned out to be. SI is just dominating both sides of the ball, just running the ball and running clock, and is up 21-0.
So, Ryan, the SI defense pitched a shutout in the first half. We talked about all the points that Bellarmine has scored in the past against SI, but today the offense not up to snuff, and the SI defense playing quite well.
Well, I think the SI defense's success is more a result of Bellarmine just not being able to get anything going in the offensive game. In the ground game, in the air game, SI has been able to handle what Bellarmine has given them, and Bellarmine has not given them a lot to look at.
So SI leads here 21-0, and guys, you do know that if this game gets out of hand in the second half, we're going to spend the rest of the day talking about the game here in 1976. You guys do know that, right?
Oh boy.
Yeah, well, here I got my buddy Gene Clancy's got all the documentation for us right here. It went into overtime. The winner was the WCAL champ that year. Both teams were undefeated. They went to a crazy tiebreaker system called the California tiebreaker system, and I tell you what, SI still wants to force Bellarmine to run that final play. Here's the kickoff to start the second half, and it's a nice kickoff deep and into the end zone. That's going to be a touchback. Mark Biggins will not have a chance, and SI will start from their own 20-yard line.
Yeah, the funny part is about that 1976 game is last time we talked about that, it was Bellarmine blowing SI out, and SI could flip the script here this time.
No. There was no blowout in that game. It was a tie game that went into overtime.
The last time we talked about this game.
Bellarmine was blown out. Well, yeah. 2 years ago. Yeah, right. I get you.
SI's flipping the script.
The final score of that game was Bellarmine 37, SI 3, the last time we were talking about that. And I'm going to go on a limb here and tell you that Bellarmine will not get to 37 points today. But you're right about that. It was a Bellarmine blowout. And frankly, 10 out of the last 11 years has pretty much been that way. And we have a whistle and a pre-snap penalty to start the second half.
The more relevant question is, will Bellarmine score any points at all?
Well, they haven't scored in 3 weeks, which is really shocking. Sacred Heart Cathedral shut them out a couple of weeks ago. Let's see, we got it right here. Valley Christian beat them 35-0 last week. St. Francis 28-0. Sacred Heart Cathedral defeated them 14-0. Before that, a couple of weeks before that, Sarah beat them 43-0. And to start the season, Menlo Atherton beat the Bells 28-0. Man in motion, Mark Biggins, fake it to Biggins. Run up the middle from Deshae Shannon. He's going to get a couple of those penalty yards back. It'll bring up 2nd and 13 for the Wildcats.
Well, these small runs here at the start of the second half will gradually grow into 5 or 6 yard gains as the Bellarmine defense gets tired, as SIs just keep running the ball right down the gut.
And then when Bellarmine does commit 7-8 men to the box, Zach throws that 40-yard bomb and catches them by surprise.
Zachary Taylor-Smith has been on point today, has a touchdown pass, a couple of deep receptions to Matt Rosen as well. He's rolling to his right, looking for Rosen, looking deep, but he's going to go short but incomplete. Brian Blake unable to make that play. Rosen was covered down the Bellarmine sideline. That'll bring up 3rd down for SI, 3rd and 14.
Unfamiliar situation here for SI with a 3rd and long last time they had this situation, though, end of the first half, they had a nice 30-yard gain down the sideline.
A rare incompletion from Zachary Taylor-Smith. 6'3", 205 pounds, a terrific athlete. Became the starting quarterback about halfway through the season. Quarterback draw, nowhere to go. He's going to get hit hard. Down he goes. So not the start that John Regalia wanted for the second half. SI is going to have to send in the punter. And Bellarmine's going to get good field position with their first possession here in the second half.
And not exactly sure what they were thinking there. They had number 9 Josh Rosen at man-to-man coverage on the outside. He would have been a good target to go to.
I think that's one of the only times Zach has gone down in the backfield today, where Bellarmine has actually been able to reach him.
Yeah, that's sack. Loss of 3. Keelan O'Connell has taken over not just the place-kicking duties. The sophomore is also the punter. And he gets it away. Nice kick, going to land right about midfield and bounce into Bellarmine territory where it is downed. And the Bells will start at their own 48-yard line. Hustling downfield is Bo Gardner to down that ball at the 48-yard line. So the Bells will start with their initial drive of the second half from their own 48.
Best field positions Bellarmine's had by far all day. Don't think they've moved past about the 40-yard line all day, and they're already starting at their own 48.
They actually moved it up to the 49, so the Bells will start from there.
Yeah, see if they can get a good opening second half drive going and get some points on the board.
Harry Mingrone has been struggling today against the SI defense. No running game to help him out, but Tyson Garcia gains about 2 on that run. It'll bring up 2nd and 8 for the Bells.
Yeah, Teddy Buchanan there on the tackle with the SI swarming defense.
Michael Janda, the longtime head coach at the Bells. I believe he's a chemistry teacher as well at Bellarmine. Played on the University of Texas national championship team in the late 70s. Been a fixture at the Bells with the Bells for a long, long time, and a pre-snap penalty, delay a game against the Bells. That'll cost Bellarmine 5 yards. Makes it a 2nd and 13 for Bellarmine. Mingrone's going to fake the handoff. Looking deep down middle. Throws it in, interception. Mark Biggins has a lane. 40, 30. Mark Biggins down the sidelines. 20, 10. Pick 6. Touchdown. Wildcats. Mark Biggins.
That was the first turnover of the game.
Yeah, not sure what Mingrone was thinking there. Double coverage by SI. Throw it right into Mark Biggins' hands and right down the sideline for an easy score.
Looked like about a 60-yard return. We'll try and get you the exact number here in a second, but Mark Biggins with his 3rd touchdown of the game, 2 rushing the ball, a pick 6. Mark Biggins and a big return. And the Cats now lead 27-0. Keelan O'Connell on to attempt the extra point. Oh, bad snap. Keelan O'Connell, just get rid of it. Don't get hurt. Oh, and he gets tackled down at the 20-yard line. PAT, no good. The Cats will lead 27-0.
Yeah, even with good position there, Bellarmine still couldn't get anything going. Just complete dysfunction on their side of the offensive ball. Just can't get anything going. I think only what, 3 or 4 first downs this entire game.
Well, that drive itself was a loss of 2 yards, a penalty, and then an interception. There's nothing positive coming out of that side of their game.
Hey, are you guys going to go to the open house tomorrow? Tomorrow, November the 4th, St. Ignatius Open House from 1 to 3 o'clock in the afternoon here at 2001 37th Avenue in the Sunset District of San Francisco. The open house is a great way for middle school students and their families to explore the SI campus and speak directly with current SI students, faculty, and staff. For more information, log on to siprep.org and click on admissions. That's siprep.org. Click on admissions. See you guys tomorrow.
I'm not sure. I know the SI...
Go with the deal and just say, yeah, we're going to be here.
I know the SI radio group will be here today or tomorrow.
Sean, of course, will be there. Sean Lahan representing. And Cormac Gallagher is going to do the kickoff duties this time for the Cats. And that kick's going to bounce at about the 20-yard line, fielded by one of the Bellarmine deep men. That's our guy, Adam Hayashki. He's been returning the kicks for the Bells. He gets it to the 25-yard line. And Bellarmine will start from deep in their own territory. SI leading here 27-0. We'll call it maybe a 60-yard return, you think, for Mark Biggins? Somewhere close to that on the interception return? What do you think, guys?
Well,
yeah, I think about that.
See if we can get the exact number on that. Any news from St. Francis and Sarah, Reardon and Valley? Mingrone, the quarterback. Maybe a yard for Joey Leiker. You know, I felt kind of bad in the game last night. I was watching on YouTube, of course, Sacred Heart Cathedral and Midi, and the Midi broadcasters were talking about how St. Francis and Sarah were playing a big game on Saturday. They mentioned that Valley Christian was playing Reardon and mentioned that Valley Christian was going to win that game, and I'm sure they probably will. But tough times for the Crusaders. But they'll be back. Crusaders had a great year 3 years ago, made the CCS playoffs, but likely to fall to 0-7 today. Here's a run up the middle for maybe a yard. That's going to bring up third down for the Bells.
Update the half. St. Francis is up 21-7 to Sarah.
St. Francis over Sarah, 21-0. Wow.
Yeah, it's looking like St. Francis will be winning the WCAL again this year.
And that will put them, I would imagine, as a 1 seed in the CCS. The Lancers, head coached by one of the Calcaños, the old quarterback from the 1983 undefeated team. Here's a deep pass, middle, and got a man off the fingertips and incomplete. Joey Leiker, almost a terrific catch, but in the end, that'll bring up a fourth down.
Another great stop on the SI defense, giving up only 2 yards on that set of downs. Another 3 and out for the Bellarmine Bells. See if they can get a stop on defense so we get anything going.
So we're going to go deep into the 70s now. That Mark Biggins interception return reminded by one of my classmates about a big interception return Charles Williams had against the Midi Monarchs back in 1976. You guys are familiar with that one, I'm sure.
Of course.
Charles Williams.
When was it?
With 1976.
Of course.
No, well, probably October of 76. Another good kick by Casey Jabe inside the 25 to about the 23-yard line.
Yeah, he has consistently pinned SI inside the 30 and inside the 20 and multiple punts this year. The one bright spot for Bellarmine this game.
I was going to say, if there's any positives, it was their special teams today.
SI has missed one field goal attempt, had a bad snap on an extra point, and the Bellarmine kicker, Casey Jabe, has done a terrific job, but it really hasn't bothered the Cats' offense. SI with 3 long drives in the first half, 21-0 lead at halftime, and an interception return from Mark Biggins. SI ahead 27-0, and Zachary Taylor Smith with Biggins in motion. Fly sweep. Biggins cuts it back up the middle. Nice run, Mark Biggins. First down out to the 35-yard line. Call it 12 yards for Mark Biggins, and another SI first down.
Biggins is really just running through the whole Bellarmine offense like they're not even there and getting these first downs time after time after time.
Taylor Smith from the gun, Danny Burke. Going to fake it to Burke. Little pitch to Cormac Gallagher. He's in trouble. Loses a couple of yards. I tell you, this SI football team, they just look like a completely different team. Played a tough preseason schedule. Everybody talks about how tough that was, and got off to a slow start in league. Lost the big Bruce Mahoney game out at Kezar Stadium. Lost to the Irish 26-21, but turned their season around against the Monarchs. Sarah's always tough. Had a big loss there, but a nice win against Reardon, and comfortably ahead here today. They're going to be tough if they in fact make the CCS playoffs. They'll have to go on the road and all of that, but they're going to be tough to deal with. Zachary Taylor Smith throwing deep, looking for a man, and just incomplete. Marcus Sweeney down the near sidelines. A little too tall, but in all, pretty good throw from Zachary Taylor Smith. Just had it out there about a yard or two too far, and that'll bring up third down.
Yeah, another third long for the SI offense. Hasn't really been able to get anything going this second half.
They were very successful with the third down in the first half, though.
A tough pickup. SI punted on their first drive of the third quarter. John Regalia would like to see a first down and get some offense established here. A little screen pass, incomplete. Danny Burke was being hounded by Ryan Hagberg, who was there, read the screen. And Danny Burke eluded the hit but couldn't make the catch. And that's going to bring up fourth down. Keelan O'Connell on to punt. Deep for the Bells is Tyson Garcia. And the kick's away. Nice booming kick away from Garcia. Bouncing at the 25-yard line. Takes a bit of a Bellarmine bounce. It's going to be down right about the 25-yard line. So nice punt that time from Keelan O'Connell, and the Bells will start in their own territory at the 30-yard line.
Just sensational punt, about 50, 60 yards. Flips the script on Bellarmine and pins him inside the 30.
Bell's offense comes to the line of scrimmage. Harry Mangrone, the quarterback. 3 receivers to his right, a receiver to his left. Looking to throw. Pressure is on. Middle screen, and a big hit. Garcia loses yards. Making the play, Will Burkett. Completed pass, but a loss of 5. Of course, another SI Bellarmine famous football game a couple of years ago, also an overtime game. Cats winning that one. On the way to a CCS Open Division Championship for the Wildcats that year. Played in the NorCal game up in Sacramento. Who ran in that touchdown? Was it Sean?
Elijah Dale.
Yeah, it was Elijah. Yeah, Elijah Dale ran in that touchdown. I thought it was. Kerry Crowley was here earlier today. We talked about his great run his senior year. Unfortunately, he got hurt in the first playoff game, but another great run to a CCS championship for SI. That year it was a Division III, beat Sacred Heart Cathedral at AT&T Park. But the Bellarmine, or not Bellarmine, but Valley Christian, a 2-point conversion, jacks in to Travis McDowell, right? Mm-hmm. Another great game in SI history. 1-point victory. That was like 43-42. And here's an interception. Nice play by our captain, Lance Sell, intercepting that football. Another turnover, and SI will get the ball inside Bellarmine territory right about the 36-yard line. So Lance Sell with an interception. The captain, the senior, making the play.
Yeah, almost as if Lance Sell was the receiver for Bellarmine, as Mingrove threw it right into his hands. One of the easiest interceptions he'll probably make.
Yeah, there was really no reason for Mingrone to throw that. There was no pressure. There was time for him to look for more options, or if not, just throw the ball away. So it was a very easy pick for Sell.
So here come the Cats, and it's a handoff straight ahead. Cormac Gallagher gets a couple of yards. So after college, by the way, guys, one of my best friends that I met at the University of Santa Clara attended Bellarmine. His name's Pat Murphy, but no relation, and he just texted me, and his question is, what has happened to Bellarmine football? So that's a Bellarmine graduate, 1976. Pat Murphy was a terrific basketball player for the Bellarmine Bells. Played against SI in the WCAL final that year, back in 1976. SI had an undefeated team that season. Bellarmine was the second-place team that year, led by Pat Murphy, Rick Bocci. And here's a sack of the quarterback. Zachary Taylor-Smith goes down with a big sack. It's going to bring up third down and a lot of yards here for the Wildcats, and Zachary Taylor-Smith is shaken up on that play. He's going to have to come out of the game.
Yeah,
The play SI was looking for there.
I do not know who SI's third-string quarterback is.
Well, coming onto the field
Jack
is
Hagfeld, I believe.
Yeah, Hagfeld. Jack Hagfeld, his brother, of course, played quarterback here at SI. He's been doing an unbelievable job as a defensive back. He was the starter when the year began, and Jack Hagfeld, 21 out of 36 on the season for 288 yards, has a touchdown, 2 interceptions, is back in as the quarterback, and it's going to be a fake handoff. Jack Hagfeld's going to take it to the house. Jack Hagfeld out in front, 40 yards, touchdown Wildcats. How do you do, Jack Hagfeld?
That is one way to announce yourself back to the crowd as starting quarterback.
The zone read, and nobody was there, and Jack Hagfeld takes it 40 yards to the house. Touchdown Wildcats.
And no one was even close to tackling him. Do not know what happened there for the Bellarmine Bells.
Fun fact, I went to the same middle school as Jack Hagfeld.
That's not as interesting as the 1976 stuff. No, I'm just kidding.
Debatable. Hey, at least it was new.
Keelan O'Connell on to attempt the extra point. And the kick is up, and the kick is good, and the Cats are going to lead here 34-0, 3:11 to go in the third. Here's some upcoming performances this fall from the SI Performing Arts, the oldest high school performing arts company west of the Mississippi, from November the 8th to November the 17th in Band and Theater. The fall play is Laughter on the 23rd Floor by Neil Simon. The play takes a comedic look at the backstage chaos of a 1950s TV show. For tickets, log on to siprep.org and click on Arts. On November the 28th and November the 30th, it's the annual fall concert featuring the SI Orchestras and Jazz Band in Band and Theater. The orchestras will feature works by Beethoven, Brahms, and Vivaldi, and also some innovative music from the current decade. Tickets for that, log on to siprep.org, click on the Arts. And December 5th and December 7th, it's the annual Winter Choral Concert featuring the SI Chamber Singers and the SI Choral Program. Also in December, from the 12th to the 14th, in Wiegand Theater, the SI Dance Workshop presents its winter dance concert, A Million Dreams. For tickets, log on to siprep.org and click on the Arts. So very busy time for the SI Performing Arts Department. SI leading here 34-0. And I don't have the research in front of me. I do have a lot of research with big scores by Bellarmine, but this could be the biggest lead maybe that SI's ever had over the Bellarmine team. Here's a short kickoff played by Luke Splain. Luke Splain's going to get tackled right about the 25-yard line, and the Bells will start with a marker down. Sean, what do you think? Biggest lead ever against Bells? Could be. Yeah, who knows? Who knows? SI did have a 3-year run against the Bells. They beat them 26-20 back in 06, 22-17 back in 05, 04, 28-13. Steve Bluford, of course, the head coach for the Wildcats in that period of time. And we have a injured SI player. Lance Sell looks like he's shaken up a little bit, and the training staff hasn't even recognized that yet. But now they do. They got to get out and check on Lance Sell. who started to come off the field, by the way. And now he looks like he's running off under his own power.
Yeah, he was banged up on that tackle that he made.
So the penalty against the Bells, they're going to start deep in their own territory at the 12-yard line. Looks like a new quarterback. No, that's Stillman Grown. He's going to hand the ball off for a short game. So you guys ready to dip back into some more SI and Bellarmine history?
Probably more interesting than this game.
Well, with a 34-0 lead for the Cats. First of all, we got to figure out if SI is going to make the CCS or not, and we really don't know, so we really can't say. We're just not sure. We do believe with a victory today that SI will grab a spot, but we honestly don't have any idea. I guess they're going to figure that out tomorrow. Is it tomorrow at 9? 9 at night? 9 a.m. Okay, you can go to the CCS website to find that out, and I'm sure Sean will be on at SI Scores, will be tweeting out that information as well. Here's a fly sweep for the Bells. Garcia's run out of bounds right at the 20-yard line. So SI and Bellarmine, we talked about it back in 1976, had an unbelievable game. Went into overtime, the California tiebreaker system. SI got the ball first. So here we go. Claudio Cipolla was dropped for a loss. So now the ball's on SI 47. Bellarmine running back Forte stopped by safety Michael Stack for a 1-yard loss. But the ball is still at the SI 48. Cipolla, an incomplete pass to Sampson. King scrambles for 3 yards to the SI 45. So SI has to get it back to the 50 and into Bellarmine territory, and they do on the next play with a sideline pass to Sampson for 7 yards. And SI is now in Bellarmine territory at the 48. Now the Bellarmine fullback, Mark DeBruin, on a draw play, plowed his way just across the 50 to about the 49.5-yard line. And each team had run 3 plays, so it's now SI's turn. Cipolla threw to Sampson on the sideline right in front of the SI bench, but the ball was knocked out of Sampson's hands and the ball fell incomplete. With that, there was pandemonium, fans swarming the field, and John Hanna being carried off on the player's shoulders. Bellarmine never got off its 4th play, but Gil Haskell didn't quibble. No, I'm not going to protest it. It's over, although it did take a day for it to become official because, as I mentioned, Bellarmine really needed to run that snap, and we've seen it today. We've seen false starts. We've seen fumbled snaps. Anything could have happened. Let's remember that the Bellarmine quarterback was not going to be able just to take a knee on that play. If he did, he would have lost yards back beyond the 50, and SI would have won the ball game. I'm still bitter about this, you guys. Can you tell?
Clearly, every 2 minutes or so, brought up again.
Brought up again. Hey, I got all the research. You got to use it. There's an article in here from Bruce Jenkins. Unbelievable. That's the same Bruce Jenkins that's writing terrific articles today covering Bay Area sports. And, of course, J. Lance Gilmore. My God, he wrote so many great articles on high school sports back in the day. Just unbelievable stuff. It's going to be 3rd down for the Bells. Under a minute to go in the 3rd. SI leading 34-0.
Every time Bellarmine has attempted to run it up the middle, the SID line has just destroyed that attempt, and there's just no reason for Bellarmine to keep attempting to go up the middle with their runs, but they continue to do so.
And I mean, the run has been their best offensive play, I guess, to say the least.
Classic double wing that you're used to seeing the Bells run, and a big run this time by Garcia, breaking tackles, 50, 40, and out of bounds. So by far Bellarmine's most successful play of the day, Tyson Garcia with a big run into SI territory.
I was about to say they are very successful, or more successful, when they bounce the run outside.
I can't remember. Bellarmine a couple of years ago had a dual threat running back, couple of players back there. Man, they played in a state championship game. I can't remember their names. I broadcasted several of their games on the old Cube. Did a game against St. Francis. Yeah, speed on the outside, power on the inside.
He must have stepped out of bounds because they marked the ball at the 44.
Yeah, way upfield. Thought the run was for quite a bit more yards, but Joaquin Marino into the game as the quarterback for the Bells. Joaquin Marino, just a sophomore, getting some stats. He gets it ahead for a couple yards on what will be the last play of the third quarter. Mark Biggins, 3 touchdowns on the day. Cats lead 34-0. Fourth quarter in a second. You're watching the SI Sports Network.
I'm Kiana Ansari, SI Class of 2020, and I would like to invite you to the annual St. Ignatius Campus Exploration Day on Sunday, November 4th, 2018. This open house is a great way for middle school students and their families to explore the SI campus and speak directly with current SI students, SI faculty, SI coaches, SI club moderators, and SI staff. It's a great opportunity to learn about the academic, campus ministry, athletic, performing arts, community service, clubs, and financial aid offered at SI. No reservations are required. The SI Open House will be from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Sunday, November 4th on the SI campus at 2001 37th Avenue in the Sunset District of San Francisco. For more information, log on to siprep.org and click on admissions. That's siprep.org and click on admissions. See you on November 4th.
That's tomorrow for the open house here at SI on campus, 37th Avenue. Just follow the fog out to the Sunset District and you'll get there. The Bells have a second down. Mingrone back in as the quarterback, hands it to Garcia. Garcia to the 40, he's going to get a first down. Garcia breaking some tackles, steps out of bounds, but another first down for the Bellarmine Bells. Tyson Garcia with a fine run.
And Bells must have changed something up because they've had 2 big plays to end the third and start the fourth quarter.
To the 24-yard line, first down for the Bells.
Could we possibly be seeing our first points in 3 weeks?
And a pre-snap penalty. Joaquin Moreno back into the game. False start on the Bells. See, that's what I'm talking about. False start. They could have had a false start back in 76. Then they would have had to gain 4.5 yards just to try and win the game.
I believe that Bellarmine team was at least a little bit better than the one we're seeing here today.
Probably true. That's actually a pretty funny call. And a run from the quarterback. You don't often see number 42 as the quarterback. Joaquin Moreno, just a sophomore, runs it ahead. Gets about 6 yards, but with the penalty starting a 1st and 15, that'll bring up 2nd and 9 for the Bells. The public addresser, the voice you hear is that of Kevin Buckley. Kevin does double duty, Sacred Heart Cathedral and St. Ignatius. Mingrone to throw. Little screen is set up. Pass is completed, but taken down quickly is Ben Richards, the tight end. Little tight end screen. Ben Richards gains a couple of yards. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
I don't see why they're not playing more of Marone. There's really nothing we've been seeing out of number 7, Mingrone.
Well, Moreno just a sophomore. He'll get plenty of chances. But this was a game that when coming into the game, if the Bells won this game, they might have been the team that snuck into the playoffs. At least that was discussion. But their season is going to end today, and we'll find out if the Cats have a chance to move on. Here's Garcia running to his right, and he is going to go out of bounds just short of the first down marker. That's going to bring up 4th down, and I'm sure that Mike Janda will go for it here on 4th down.
He's got really nothing to lose.
Morono coming back in now.
It's interesting what they're doing here, switching between the 2 quarterbacks.
Joaquin Moreno is the quarterback now, man in motion. fake it to him, forge ahead, and very close. Very, very close. Did Moreno get the first down?
It looks like he was stopped at least a yard short. He was met at the line by a few SI defenders.
So we'll see. It'll either be an SI football or a first down for the Bells, and it looks like it'll be an SI football as SI holds on fourth down. Like you said, a little bit short. And there's the official call from the man in the white hat. It's an SI football. The Cats hold on downs, preserving the shutout with 10-12 to go. SI leads here 34-0. Another SI alumni event on November the 18th. St. Ignatius will give its highest honor to a graduate of the school, the Christ the King Award. This year's recipient is John Dugan from the class of 1959. John and his family own both Original Joe's restaurant in North Beach and in Westlake. Log on to siprep.org and click on Alumni for more information on this special day. For the latest updates on St. Ignatius class reunions and upcoming class Christmas luncheons and dinners, log on to siprep.org and click on Alumni for more information. And I plan on attending on November the 18th. John Dugan, a great basketball mind. His son was a terrific basketball player here at SI. John Dugan spent a lifetime coaching basketball on all kinds of different levels. Nothing more fun than talking basketball, especially high school basketball, with John Dugan.
Yeah, looks like Jack Hagefeld is going to stay in the game for the Cats. Number 14, Taylor Smith, is on the sideline with his knee wrapped in ice.
Taylor Smith will not return. Jack Hagfeld, pretty good start to this game, or for him as a quarterback, a 40-yard touchdown run on his first play of the day. Man in motion, we're going to fake the fly sweep, run it straight ahead for a couple. Cormac Gallagher to about the 20. Going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Well, with Teddy Buchanan being out and Zach Taylor Smith being wrapped up on the sidelines, and with Jack Hagfeld being in, I think the emergency quarterback is going to be Danny Burke.
Yeah, let's pray it doesn't come to that.
SI approaching 9 minutes here to go in this one. Cats with a comfortable lead. Little pitch to Cormac Gallagher. He's going to battle his way and get a first down. Cormac Gallagher across the 30, marker down. About 3 or 4 markers down. And Cormac Gallagher with a strong first down run for the Wildcats. We'll check on the markers. It looked like it might have been perhaps a face mask. And it is against the Bells. So that's just going to tack on a bunch more yards. And SI is going to be in fine shape out towards about the 45, 46-yard line for the Bellarmine Bells.
Here's the question. Would SI be in any worse shape if Danny Burke was playing quarterback right now?
I can remember years ago, before I attended SI, I came to an SI Bellarmine football game. Had to be 72, maybe 1970. Another terrific game. SI won that day against the Bells. Here's a run up the middle. Reed Hansen into the game, the junior, running the ball for the Wildcats. An effective run, call it 7 yards, 2nd and 3. But anyway, I came to the game, and my dad, his best friend was a guy named Bill Crowley, and Bill Crowley had kids that played for the Bellarmine football team. They went to Santa Clara together, and SI won that day. And I remember Bill Crowley was just so upset. He was just so upset that SI was able to defeat the Bellarmine Bells. It's really the first memory I ever have of being here at J.B. Murphy Field. And here's a handoff to Kaylee Chan, first down run. SI just carving up the Bells now inside the 40 to the 37-yard line. Of course, in those days, it was a grass field, not the beautiful multi-purpose field. I can't even remember what it was called back in those days. J.B. Murphy was still here teaching, obviously, at the time. Did you guys ever have J.B. Murphy? No.
I don't
Sean
think
did.
so.
You know, Sean's included in this. J.B. Murphy, one of the iconic teachers. His son is Chuck Murphy. You know Chuck Murphy, correct? Is Chuck still working here, Sean, or did he retire? He's retired as well. Really showing my age here, huh, guys? But that was my first memory here. It was an SI Bellarmine football game I'm going to say it was probably 72. It could have been 1970.
The combined years of Chuck Murphy and J.B. Murphy teaching at SI is 97.
Oh, my God. What a couple of careers that is. Cormac Gallagher for no gain. Say that again, Sean.
Said the combined years of both J.B. Murphy, who the football field is named after, and his son Chuck Murphy, the combined years of teaching at SI is 97.
Wow. 97 years together. They overlapped for several years there.
Oh, they did. I think Chuck started teaching here in like the mid-'60s. Then
Yeah.
JB was here from 1939 to 1989.
Wow. 39 to 89. By my math, guys, that's 50 years.
Longtime athletic director. Took SI
That's
out
right.
of the AAA into the WCAL.
And Leo LaRocca following, and there's a big loss for the Cats. Kaylee Chan running the fly sweep, loses about 8 yards.
Then Bob Vergara, and then John Mulcairns.
Bob Vergara and John Mulcairns, of course. How long has it been since John took over for Bob? Got to be 7, 8 years, something like that?
At least, yeah.
Yeah. Bob Vergara, long time. He must have had it for about 20 years, something like that, right from Leo LaRocca. Leo had it for a really long time. He was the athletic director when I was here. He had, he had a lot of kids, but the boys all were terrific athletes here at SI. He had a LaRocca in my class, the class of 77. Up the middle for a short gain, bringing up 4th down. Cormac Gallagher for a yard. So Gene Clancy, number 72 back in the day for the Wildcats, is texting me play calls that they should have run in overtime in that game instead of what they did run. Danny Hurley was an explosive runner for the Wildcats in those days. He didn't touch the ball much, but when he did, he could go for big yards. And Gino thinks a handoff to Danny on maybe one of these fly sweeps could have been appropriate. Of course, the head coach, Gil Haskell, has a Super Bowl ring. We saw Gil Haskell last week. SI and Reardon getting together in the annual Gil Haskell game. Here's Cormac Gallagher with a terrific punt deep. Let's down it at the... Oh, wow, nice play by the Bellarmine return man. SI was getting ready to down that ball at the 3-yard line. He came out of nowhere, picked it up, and ran it back to the 20. That's a real nice play by Adam Hayashi. Well done, 17-yard return. SI was in good position to down that ball.
Oh, they're still in very good position. That was from the 3-yard line. Looked like the Bells player was going to grab it and fall to the ground, but no, he grabs it and sprints up to the sideline and almost breaks one free, but SI's there to stop him.
So the Gil Haskell game last week, SI defeated Reardon 35-0. Gil Haskell won a Super Bowl as an assistant coach, offensive coordinator under Mike Holmgren, who was a Sacred Heart Cathedral back in those days, Sacred Heart. He coached at Sacred Heart, attended Lincoln High School. But anyway, Gil Haskell with a Super Bowl ring. And he worked, I guess, about 3 years at Reardon as a young coach, and then attended St. Ignatius, worked at Reardon for, I think, 3 years. Sean will go with 3, and then came back and was the head football coach here at SI before moving on with John Robinson down at USC and finally into the NFL, winning a Super Bowl ring with the Green Bay Packers, and just recently inducted into the SF Prep Hall of Fame. Were you just going to say that, Sean?
No, I said on that same staff at SI, it was Gil Haskell and Bill Lavaroni, who
yeah.
ended up going to the Super Bowl as the offensive line coach for the Seattle Seahawks.
Bill
when they had
Lavaroni?
Sean Alexander as the running back.
Absolutely. Coach Lav. Peter Shear, I believe, was a coach on that team as well. He had brothers that were twins. Bart Shear went to SI, and Brad Shear attended Lowell, going back in the day. But fun to reminisce, and again, always fun to talk about Gil Haskell. Gil Haskell representing the St. Ignatius Reardon football game every year now, and it kind of brings the communities together. It's a great look. Under 4 minutes. Handoff, nowhere to go for Luke Splain. He'll get hit for a loss.
Splain took that ball and ran directly into the back of his blockers.
So I'm going to blow you guys away with the final bit of knowledge of 1976, and I promise I won't talk about it anymore. But
There's more knowledge?
Tom Page was the center and a linebacker for the Bells. He went to the Naval Academy, and he was a very good friend of Dennis Murphy, who graduated in 77. Dennis Murphy led the SI Cats in rushing that day, had about 85 yards rushing. Here's a nice run from the quarterback, the sophomore.
With all these 76 facts, you'd think that the game was infinite.
It was one of the iconic games. They might do a 30 for 30 on it there. Just kidding. But Tom Page was a center linebacker, and he became a great friend of Dennis Murphy at the Naval Academy. I mean, these guys really became best friends. Dennis tells me the story. It's December 2007, and they're at the Poinciana Bowl because Navy's playing in San Diego at the Poinciana Bowl. Tom Page puts his arm around Dennis and says, "Hey, great to see you, man. I think you'd like to hear that the Bellarmine team, the 1976 Bellarmine football team, was just inducted into the Bellarmine Sports Hall of Fame." So, of course, that pissed Dennis off. But then he goes on to tell me privately that during the overtime game in 76, he had his bell rung at the end of the game in overtime and was lying flat out on the bench, such that he would not have been able to make the final snap if the referees required the Bells to run their final and fourth play. So there you go, guys. Now you got to really be upset. They're going to go out there with a second-string center for the final snap. Anything could have happened. I think we should line them up right now and get them out there. I really do.
Will we line up the players from that team, so the 76 team now?
My guys might get hurt. There could be some real damage done. I think we should just do it right now with these guys. There's a first down run by Joaquin Moreno.
Yeah, just put a 22 70-year-olds out there and see what happens.
70 years old. Are you doing your math over there, Liam? Bob Sarlot's not here. He's the 70-year-old. We're all about 58 or 59, okay? Got it? We're getting there, though. We're getting there. Hey, one of these days you'll be sitting here in this talking about the 2000. What year is this?
2018.
There you go, thanks. Talking about the 2018 game between the Cats and the Bells, and the Cats shut out the Bells and beat Bellarmine.
I don't think we are going to remember this game.
Oh, you kidding me? This could be the game that gets SI into the CCS playoffs, and I'm going to tell you what, I don't know what division they're going to go in. If they go at all, maybe Division 3, Sean, we just don't know. Maybe Sacred Heart Cathedral gets in that division as well. Maybe we have a repeat of 2011. Was that the year, 2011? Sacred Heart Cathedral back in 2011. They beat SI during the Bruce Mahoney football game at Kezar Stadium, but at AT&T Park, SI won the CCS championship that year. Maybe we'll get a repeat. Maybe Sacred Heart Cathedral and SI, just who knows? Maybe they will meet again. The volleyball teams have played 4 times this year, and maybe a 5th, so why not? Why not? But back to today, Mark Biggins, the hero. Biggins with 2 touchdown runs and a long interception return to lead the Wildcats. And with 10 seconds to go, I do not believe... Well, it looks like we will get one more snap.
One last play.
The Bells have to rush to get the play off, and they do with 2 seconds. And it's a run up the middle, and that's going to do it. And the Cats are going to win this one 34-0. Again, Mark Biggins, 2 touchdown runs and a touchdown interception return, the hero of the day for the Wildcats. SI goes to 3-4 in league play. 3-way tie for 4th place in the West Catholic Athletic League at 3-4 with Mitty, Sacred Heart Cathedral, and St. Ignatius, and we'll see who makes it in to the CCS playoffs. Our next broadcast on the SI Sports Network will be basketball. The basketball teams are practicing now, both boys and girls, and we're going to get that going hopefully in December and into January for the basketball season. Once again, your final score, it's the Cats 34, the Bells nothing. Thanks for watching the SI Sports Network.